Hello members, welcome to this week's Member Monday. I'm in the studio. I did go out this morning and take some photos. In fact, it is Sunday as I'm filming this. And Raymond and I went out this morning with some of this stuff actually, and some other stuff, and took some photos, some of which I will be sharing in a video later today for everybody, which is actually when I'm going to be going through what all of this stuff is. This is all the stuff I'm really going to be using in the next couple of weeks to making a push to get some of these last reviews done. But another thing that I want to talk about in that video for everybody is doing some actual projects with this stuff that I can share the project itself in addition to, maybe this project ends up in the review or as a part of the review, but I want to share some of those projects because I'm getting a little burnt out on doing so many reviews. And although I'm super thankful that companies send me gear that I can play with and review, and I know that reviews are very important for my channel because they get a lot of views, but yeah, I'm just getting a little burnt out on them. On Friday or Saturday maybe, I shared a video with everybody about fostering creativity. And it just reminded me how much I enjoy talking about the other stuff rather than just reviewing gear. And, although I take a ton of photos and videos while I'm reviewing stuff, that is super gratifying. I want to share some of those experiences as well. In addition, by the way, I also shared the next module of the beginner photography course. I call them courses. I've forgotten. When you make up the names, you tend to forget sometimes what you've called them. So anyway, I did share that. So check it out if you want to see the next module. The next module is all about the art of photography and creativity and composition and stuff like that. So that actually leads me to what I actually wanted to talk to you all about today, which is how I'm going to start updating you on content, I guess, members only content. So as it stands, I post things on each of the three places that I have members: the YouTube channel, the channel members, Patreon with the patrons, and VIPs on snapchick.com. So I have the three different places, and I share things differently on these places. And I share them and then they end up going down in the feed and then it's difficult to find them again. So I'm trying to improve that by posting something every couple of weeks and sharing all of the ebook download codes in every one of those posts, all of the links to all the courses in every one of those posts, and then maybe also something like bringing up old member content, like the rewinds. I kind of have fallen out of the habit of doing a lot of rewinds, but I am trying to get back into the habit of bringing up old content just because it's fun for me and it's one more thing I can remind everybody, about having this older stuff. So I think I will probably include links to that stuff in these bi-weekly posts as well. So for VIP members, yours is actually a little bit different. It's not so much a bi-weekly thing. We just have the VIP chalkboard on the website, and you can just get to it from near the top of the website, and it will have all your download codes and all the stuff that I just mentioned. That'll always be updated, but I will make sure every couple of weeks when I do the other two that it is super updated, just in case I forget anything, because sometimes I forget stuff. And Patreon patrons, I'm just going to do a post for you all, a patrons only post where all that same stuff is listed. All the free download codes, all the courses, maybe some rewinds. And then for channel members, for YouTube channel members, I will make a post in the community tab. Same thing as the other two with all of the download codes and such. So that's what I plan to do in the near future. In fact, I just started it this morning for you all. It would have been yesterday, so that I could get the screen grabs and everything. But yeah, I plan to do it every couple weeks, probably every couple of Sundays, maybe every couple of Mondays. Kind of depends on where I am and what I'm doing, but that's that. And last thing, I wanted to mention what I'm filming with today, because everything's kind of changing. I have been changing things around. I'm using these larger, newer LED studio lights like I have been using. I'm actually going to review them later this week, because I don't even have a lot to say about them. They're good. That's it. They're really good. But it is still kind of harsh lighting. So I'm bouncing the light. I've tilted them up a little bit. So I'm bouncing the light a little bit off the ceiling to see how this looks. And I actually think I like the look better than when they are pointed directly at me. So that's good. So anyway, other than that, I'm using the Z6. Yeah, with the 24 to 70 millimeter f2.8 lens. And I'm actually recording on the Atomos Ninja 5. So I'm getting 10-bit, 4K, 30 frames per second video, 29.97 to be exact. And that way I'll just be able to edit it if I want to. I am still getting used to the white balance of these lights as compared to my old lights. And so I like to hedge my bets a little bit and use my Ninja so that I can record in 10-bit so that I have greater latitude when doing any color grading. I am not good at color grading. It is definitely my weak point. Audio and color grading for video are my two weak points, really, when it comes to my job. So anyway, if any of you have any recommended channels or resources for that, let me know, because I definitely need to get better at it. But audio, I've switched back to what I was using previously, which is the Zoom H4n, recording me with a Sony mic. I can't remember which one it is. It's one of the lavalier mics, one of the XLR lavalier mics. And I have been round and round with audio. Let me tell you, I have done all sorts of different things, but right now I'm finding it best to clip it to myself so you can see it, and not so that you can see it, or rather clip it to myself so it's closer to my mouth so that I'm louder and I can minimize any background noise. And unfortunately that means it's clipped to me and the audience can see it, which I don't like. I prefer for it to be invisible, but there's nothing I can do about it right now, because I had recently switched back to using the Rode SmartLav Plus, which records to your phone. And the Rode SmartLav Plus is just an audio jack, and I don't have one of those on this phone, so I was going through the adapter that came with this phone, but I'm not sure if that was the culprit or if there's something else, but there are glitches in it, and Raymond and I have both tried it and several times, and we've continued to have the problem. So until I figure that out, I'm back to kind of this old standby. Anyway, that was kind of beside the point, just to let y'all know one of the things that I'm working on behind the scenes that isn't necessarily camera related, or isn't necessarily something that I'll talk about on the channel anywhere else, but there's that. And that's it, everybody. I am excited to actually work with some of this stuff. I finally received the 200 to 600 millimeter Sony lens. That had been on back order for a while, so it actually came in sooner than I thought. So I shouldn't say finally received it. I received it sooner than I thought, but I have that. I've got the little RX 100 Mark 7, which is so fun. I actually had this and this morning out, and it's just hilarious to use the two of them. Obviously a ton of capability here, but then I picked this thing up and I'm like, pew, pew, pew. It's awesome. So speaking of pew, 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 I watched the first episode of The Mandalorian last night. Raymond and I, we don't have cable, but we do, we watch Amazon Prime, and I think we have YouTube TV I don't know, I don't ever use it. I think he watches football on it or something. But we signed up for Disney Plus. I don't know why. He said, oh, there's all these old Disney movies that I like. And I said, The Mandalorian's on there. And so we got it. And I watched the first episode last night. And I'm curious if any of you have gotten Disney Plus and if you have watched the first episode. Let me know what you think. I guess I can't wait to tell you what I think. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. I'm not sure I like it. How disappointing is that? Because I'm such, in case you're new here, I am a big fan of Star Wars, and I'm a big fan of Star Wars and Star Trek. I don't really choose amongst the two, but I probably know more about Star Wars because Raymond likes Star Wars a lot. And yeah, The Mandalorian is interesting because, you know, it's a story that, it's a side story that you haven't really thought about, but for some reason it looks a little too clean and crisp to me because I'm used to kind of the dirtier look of the Star Wars movies. So anyway, I think it's just something I have to get over, and I'll get used to it. And there's lots of funny parts and, you know, all of that. Oh, and like monsters, alien monsters. Anyway, I'm getting down the rabbit hole. I need to stop. Everybody, I hope you all have a great week. Make sure that you check out the Everybody video that I make about this stuff, because I will be asking for questions. If you have any just in general projects that you would like me to do and share, like, you know, do you want to know about, what are my ideas? I don't know. Do you want to know how I film videos in the studio? Do you want to know how I edit my videos in the studio, or like a whole video about that whole process? Or with photography, you know, what I might pack in my bag for a random sunset or something like that, or how I might edit. I know editing is a big hot topic that has been requested recently. So if there's a particular genre of editing or a particular piece of software that you are interested in, let me know. I can't promise anything because I don't have all of the software and there's only so much money to spend, but I will, I'll do my best. I have a few, and then there's some free ones out there. So that's it. That is all, everyone. Thank you for watching. As always, thank you so much for your support. If you were not here, I would not be here. And that's all. Have a great week. No, wait, make it a great week. That's what my mom would say.